Looking at your email, I have a few just comments to share with you. Maybe first off, let's start. I'm still very far from offering you any kind of services. Reason for this is you're still at very much ground zero. Looking at your website statistics and data, it's exactly what you said. You don't really have anything. You have a landing page and you have one website in the world mentioning you, so you technically have four backlinks coming from one website. Let's have a look which website this is. bonusgate.org is mentioning you, and this link went live in August 2023. So in other words, you have this little micro SEO factor pointing at your website. So backlinks in the SEO world are good. The more websites mention you, the higher you will rank. Bonus points if those websites are in the accounting, finance space. If you get a backlink from the ATO or Accountants Daily or MYOB or Xero, that backlink is worth thousands, and that will essentially drive a lot of SEO juice to your website. So one of the big factors of SEO is backlinks. So that was me looking at your stats, and you're getting zero traffic from Google from organic results. However, I do believe that your Google business listing, which I was just checking out just before, you had one review, so you're essentially at ground zero. Let's see if we can find your Google listing. Accountants, Newcastle. I did find it here before. Here we go, one Google review. And looking at the map, it looks like a pretty dense area of the city. I'm just really glad that you're not in the CBD of Sydney or Melbourne. That's just absolutely Russian roulette of who gets the top listings, but it is quite dense. I imagine there's quite a few practices in here. When I worked at MYOB, I looked after the accounting practices in the CBD. They used our practice solutions, so AE, AO. Definitely transitioned a lot of files from the V19 account right to the cloud and connected SuperStream and STP and all that kind of stuff. So naturally I gravitated towards accountants because I wanted to help them succeed, and one of the things that constantly kept on coming up is, hey, how do we acquire more business? And so I essentially started to build websites in that space, my own websites, that is. So if I just come back to your email and just answer a few of your, I'll give you my 5 cents on when a SEO company reaches out to you. So first of all, it's an automated bot. It's an automated bot that will go out and email everyone, and it's just a numbers game. It's basically spam if there is a response to this spam. So the proposal, and to say that your website has issues, your website has these problems, that's a generic message that can be sent out to many websites. And if there is any kind of response, an agent will jump on it and personalize it a bit more. So my issue with that happening is a lot of the time you're dealing with a sales agent, and that person's not going to be around when it comes to delivering the service, and then there's a lack of care. And a lot of the time SEOs will, look, I really dislike my industry for this, they will apply meaningless services 12 months with no control over results. So I'm going to back your friend up here. I do think you're going to get more from a freelancer or someone actually doing the work. So I'd probably lean towards the two contacts that you met at that meetup, because they're possibly starting up, they're in that passion phase of their business, they're going to apply more care. I've got some comments on social media management for accountants, because social media management, so just posting, won't get you leads, because social media posting is posting to your current audience, right? So just adding things to Instagram or Facebook as a post does not reach an external audience. If you post a reel, a video, yes, you can reach an external audience, but it's hard to scale organic reels, especially if it's not here in front of the camera, constantly recording content and delivering value. And I just don't think that's good use of your time. So as far as what I've seen in the SEO space, in the social, and I do social media management, I just do it for businesses like wedding venues, visual spaces, gardeners, arborists, where yes, you record that incredible wedding when the bride and groom are walking down the aisle or something like that at the wedding venue, and we post that onto social media. It's a visual space, and then we run an ad to relationship status engaged. So absolutely, social media will work really well for them. For an accountant, what I've seen is Facebook ads with the Carey Packer ad that I mentioned, brought in a whole bunch of leads, but also Google ads definitely work. So when someone tells me that Google ads don't work, they don't work for everybody, but in your space, people are Googling for an accountant. So for example, I shared with you some figures where we had the term Newcastle accountant and accountant Newcastle rotated in its various variations, receive 4,000 organic searches per month, meaning someone is searching for the term accountant Newcastle along with other various combinations, accountants Newcastle, accountant Newcastle, so Newcastle accountants, and 742 other keyword variations. Let's quickly have a look. So what I'm looking at here is essentially the chunk of the pie, what people are searching. It might be accounting jobs in Newcastle. Here we go. Accounting jobs in Newcastle gets 50 hits per month. So it means we don't want that keyword. So when someone says to me that Google ads do not work in this space, it just means that they did not set up Google ads correctly, and Google ads are very easy to get wrong. For example, Google is listening to me. If I fire up an ad in Google and I say, I want to show up for the term accountant Newcastle, and say, go Google, go get me some traffic for accountant Newcastle, unfortunately my money will go to this keyword over here, which is accounting jobs in Newcastle. So in other words, I want to tell the Google ad that I don't want this visitor. I don't want accounting course. I don't want other keywords. And essentially Google ads absolutely fail when Google is taking a credit card downtown and basically, because it doesn't understand exactly the terms that you want. You might have a course for accountants. You might have learning for accountants. You might have a job. You might have a calculator for accountants, right? Google ads definitely work. It's just the cost of entry to market. It's not injury lawyers, it's not dentists, but it's quite steep. So I'll give you a very quick example. We're currently running an ad to this accounting website. We help businesses succeed. Now, this is a generic small business landing page. We have 3 landing pages. Now, what I mean by a landing page is when someone Googles for small business accountants, they land on this page. But we also have a page where it's just medical accountants. These guys specialize in dentists primarily. So there is a page similar to this. We help, this one's in Queensland as well. So this particular ad is running in Queensland. So Queensland traffic hit this page. And if I log into the Google ad now, we can see that in the last month, this particular ad has spent 1.1 thousand at $25 per a click, right? So that means when someone Googles small business accountant, dental accountant, the cost per lead is about $170 per lead at the moment. Now that goes the same for Freedom Financial, which is that Freedom Financial website that I showed you. Currently, is same sort of thing, different keywords. In the last 30 days, this particular ad has spent $1,300, and roughly every $200 is an inquiry through the web form. So if I go to Freedom's website, we're going to see this landing page. This is another landing page. So what I mean by landing page is it's hidden away from Google's SEO. It's just for Google ads, and if someone in the suburb types in financial planning, they land on this page, right? They click on our ad at the top, financial planners that help you take control and get ahead. Notice there's no menu at the top, so they've essentially got nowhere to go. So if someone's looking for a financial planner, we're looking for someone that's trustworthy. Here we go. We've got 38 reviews. We've got a nice video, nice colors, nice brand. So it's what more do you want? We've got a team of faces. We've got a video full of audio testimonials. Book a free discovery session. Everyone's smiling. Everyone's happy. Let's book a chat. So roughly every $170 to $200, there is a form that gets filled out, or in addition to phone calls. That's a unique phone number, and that way I can track phone calls and how long the call lasted. We don't record the phone calls, but in other words, we have data and analysis so that we know at the end of this sort of month or the few months, we can say, okay, we gave Google this much, the return was this much. And then it just becomes a numbers game. So I know I've dived in quite deep. So I'm just going to wrap up your email before I show you some of the things that work in your space. So my concern with an SEO agency, that they look very established, they look very good, right? My concern there is cost. How much is it going to cost? Because one, like a small operation like yours, may not be able to afford what some of the competitors in Newcastle are spending. So if I type in a Newcastle accountant and I click on the top website at the top, let's have a very quick deconstruction of this website. This doesn't look too good. Oh yeah, okay. So we're looking at won a few awards, top 10. Okay, these guys are established. So the first thing I'm going to look at is I'm going to look at how big is their website. So if I look how big, this website has 770 pages shown to Google. So what I've done here is I've gone site, lenantempleton.com.au, and it's basically, Google is just looking at their website, right? So 770 pages. Let's go to the bottom. Let's flick through some of these pages. What have we got? They've got blogs about Airbnb, contractors, tax tips, free guide, 30 ways to reduce your tax. Like, this is the playbook that I've rolled out for all the clients. Lots of blogs, lots of guides, lots of pages, SMSF, Newcastle's business advisory benchmarking. Let's have a look at this quick page. So I'm literally this is what I do. I deconstruct how Google makes decisions, and I deconstruct other websites in the space, and I can see that this is a service offering. So they've got 5 categories of services. Look how well filled out. Like, this is at least a $20,000 website. Straight up, like, just to have the content created for something like this. Then if we go to news, their news are even categorized by different newsletters, video articles, videos, events, subscribe. So what do they do? Dedicated events and dedicated videos. Let's have a quick look. Wow. So guides, right? So what we're looking at here is the cost of entry to market to rank in the space. Now this makes sense as to why they're on top. Let's have a very quick look at their statistics. So this website, oh, wow, 7,000 backlinks pointing at the site. Now, even in 2019, they were already sitting on 100 organic visitors a month. So they were already mature in 2019, and my data doesn't go back any further than that. Right now, they're sitting on 227. That's not a huge number, okay? That's not a huge number, but if we think about it, there's also much, much less people than Melbourne or Sydney looking for accounting services in Newcastle. So they obviously rank number 1 for accountant Newcastle. Let's have a very quick look at how much potential traffic they could be getting from that one key term. So accountant Newcastle definitely is their best keyword, and they're currently receiving, look, this is a rough estimation, but they're receiving 24 visitors a month in first position. Okay, for tax accountant Newcastle, they're receiving 16 visitors a month. So let's do some rough calculations. If 1 in 3 inquired there, 1 in 3 inquired here, that's a few organic inquiries per month. Now, if you go back to the last 10 organic inquiries that you've received, what was the average business that you took on? Is it a cheap $100 tax return or $300 tax return? And that's it, see you later? Or was it something a bit more sophisticated and SMSF and set up and audit and a whole bunch of other stuff? So look back at the average cost of average lifetime value, and then from there you can understand how much money you're happy to, now this might sound a bit harsh, happy to throw away at testing marketing strategies. Because the truth is, Google Ads work, SEO works, Google Maps works, organic social media posting of Reels can help bring awareness, but it's hard to track cost per lead per that. So that will be my absolute last thing on the priority. list. So that's after you've exhausted Google Ads and you've hitting all the budgets there and you can't do anything more. You've already ranked on maps, you've got 20, 30 Google reviews. Only then will I consider posting to Facebook. Posting to LinkedIn, however, to your audience on LinkedIn that you might have is much more sensible, because right now you've got no followers, and when you post something, you're essentially just keeping in touch with your followers. That's just my 5 cents. So if we look at, this is a website that I rebuilt, I think it was like 2018, and everything is a roller coaster. They had to change offices, so we went up, we went down. So yeah, 2019, end of 2019, new website went up. And so this is in Melbourne, so went to 1,800 visitors a month. Keep in mind, every single one of these little G's down the bottom is a Google algorithm change. So in other words, Google is completely changing and everything is fluctuating, means it's changing who's at the top, who's second, who's third. So it's like SEO is a never-ending game of doing things to a website to make Google choose us over a competitor. So all of these roller coaster since 2019, currently sitting at a cool 725 organic visitors a month, which brings them organic inquiries per month from rankings. Now, we have run Google ads in the past, we have run Facebook ads in the past. Happy to say that neither of those are needed anymore because the business is receiving organic traffic. If I have a look at another one, which I haven't listed to you, this one here, I mentored these guys for about a year. This is something that I'm happy to do with you, no cost. It's just where I just give you advice and give you tips on things you can try. And so same scenario with this one. I helped them start up their website in 2019. Towards the end of sort of 2020, they hit me up, say, okay, Eugene, we're ready to roll. Now, this spike here is the World Wide Web really loved our content. There was particular one blog that we ranked above the ATO, and it was, what can I claim without receipts? And it was bringing so much traffic. So what you're seeing here is a fluctuation of all sorts of blogs and guides, and the website's still sitting on 2,200 visitors a month. Everything goes up. Anything that goes up must come down. So this is a recalculation. So if we have a look at the site, because it was built already 4 years ago, it's due for a bit of a facelift. So lots of campaigns to show. So looking at your site, is this WordPress? It's Wix. So for someone to SEO this website, my 5 cents is the person that SEOs it should be the person that has full control and potentially rebuilds it. I've actually got a dedicated video on my website where I talk about Wix, Weebly and Squarespace SEO versus WordPress. I would never take on an SEO campaign of Wix, Weebly and Squarespace. I wouldn't find it ethical. So just be mindful of anyone selling you SEO services to your current Wix website. I'm not saying Wix does not rank, Wix can't rank, but if we go back to Accountant Newcastle and we have a look at, let's have a look at Leanan Templeton. This, I'm willing to place any money that this is a WordPress website. Yes, it is. So in first position is a WordPress website. Let's have a look at second position. Pitcher Newcastle. Pitcher Newcastle, this smells like a WordPress website as well. Bang, WordPress. So 2 websites, first and second. I'm talking about the CMS, the customer, what the website is built with. Let's have a look at number 3 position. Okay, number 3 position. Jeez, it looks like one of the drone photos that I would have taken. Beautiful site. So we've got 3 sites that are displaying happy faces, people smiling, right? Real brands. Look at this very good video. So this is part of your cost of entry to market, because you have to embrace and get some photos of the team. Otherwise, Google may not consider you. This is WordPress as well, just for the sake of this exercise. Newcastle Accountant. So cheeky, that's the kind of domain that I would generally buy. Let's have a look. That's probably an accountant though. Accountant Newcastle. Oh, Leanan Templeton, look at this. They've done the same strategy. So this is incredible. So an SEO agency or them have picked up a second domain, Newcastle Accountants, ranked it, and now they hog 2 spots. I'm just going to pause for a second, because if we Google Oakley Accountants, oh, I love seeing this. In first position, we have my website, which I showed to you. So this ranks number 1 for the term Oakley Accountants, which is a suburb in Melbourne. And these leads are going to this business over here, which have their own website, which is this one over here, one of the ones that I listed to you. This is exactly the same strategy that's currently being executed by these guys, Lean Templeton, and then Newcastle-Accountant. Same brand. This is incredible. I love seeing this. Guess what? WordPress. This is a WordPress website as well. No Wix to be seen right now. No doubt. The lower we go, we will eventually see a WordPress. Let's go to KLM Accountants. Good photos. Press still. So if someone is going to be selling you SEO and they are not having a conversation, I think this might be actually still WordPress. Just this menu doesn't look like a WordPress website. We're still WordPress. Look how far down we're going. Come on, let's find a Wix website down here. I hope Wix gets better. I have built many Wix websites. Here we go. This is HubSpot CMS. No, something's not right. HubSpot CMS? That's interesting. What CMS is this website built with? So you can actually do this yourself. What CMS? Let's have a look, please. Unless they're hiding the code. HubSpot, interesting. I've never actually, it's really rare that I see a HubSpot CMS website. That's just showing us that Wix, Weebly, Squarespace is nowhere to be seen. I'm at page 2 of Google now. We've got some ads. So in other words, what I'm trying to prove to you is if someone sells you SEO services to a Wix website, they're up against WordPress. This one here is WordPress. We're now on page 2 of Google. This website is WordPress, and you can see the kind of sites that these are. Beautiful sites. This one's a little bit less humanified. In other words, I want sites that show people's faces. This looks like also a WordPress website. Yes, it is, WordPress. I think you get the gist. This is a bit on the uglier side. So the first 3 or 4 websites are sites that show, where are we? Faces, right? In a world where AI is pumping out thousands and thousands, probably millions of artificial blogs and articles an hour, Google is choosing real brands. In a nutshell, if you want to show up on Google Maps, you're going to need to get a lot more Google reviews. So if I find us, I've got way too many tabs, I'm starting to get anxiety over here. Here we go. So you need at least 20 to 30 reviews within the next 6 months to have a higher chance of showing up on Google Maps. You're probably already getting some traffic through here. In fact, the organic leads that you are probably getting are coming from here and not the actual website. So they'll find you here, they might call this number and they might click the website. But generally speaking, one Google review, you got to lift the game up. So cousins, brothers, sisters, everyone should leave you a Google review. When you go for coffees with someone, when you go for a beer with someone, grab their phones, leave yourself a Google review. You can get a QR code, I can help you set it up, which directs users to leaving your Google review. So when you have a meaningful meeting with somebody and they're happy, you say, hey, it would mean the world to us if you left us a Google review. These are things that you don't need to pay anyone to do. You can do them for free. And you should be tackling these free things yourself first. You can also get like a little NFC, like they're like $10 on Amazon card. It's like a little card that you tap on a door for it to open in an office environment. And you can program that, very easy to do, to direct people to leaving you a Google review. You can also get your Google review link from your Google review listing, email that to people. You can SMS it to people. So there's a lot of ways that you can get Google reviews. The more reviews you have, the higher you will rank on Google Maps until you, like here is the cost of entry. Accountant, let's have a look. Newcastle Accountant. Leanan has only got 17 reviews. That's easy to beat. Eagle Financial 48. Newcastle Business Accountants 3. Cost of entry is not looking too steep right now with reviews. So if you roll in with, let's say 30, you're going to instantly feel an impact just from Google Maps. And that does not cost you anything to do. You just need to ask people to leave your review. You've already got a huge list of clients that you've probably worked with for the last, 10, 15 years. The ones that are clearly, you can just email them, hey, we've worked together for a while. It would mean the world to me if you left us a review. It's going to be hard. You've got to have to push for it. but that's something that will directly impact visitors. If it was my website, I'd be building a WordPress website like the other top 15 that we've just seen. I would get a professional photographer out, or if you've got any friends and family that can come out and take some photos, not with a phone. Images of the team, I think you mentioned you've only got 3. That's fine, better than nothing, especially if you've got some signage in the back. So show to Google that you are a real business and show users that you're real people. And that's foundational. That's level 1. Then build out all of these service pages. I'm not saying copy these guys, but sure you do tax returns, accounting and tax, business advice. Wow, look at this. This is crazy. Property advice, marketing advice, forecasting. So each of these pages is what I call an SEO page. So if I click on this page, this particular page is designed to rank for if someone Googles investment property accountant, investment property advice. If I jump to one of my sites, one of my recently built sites, tax warehouse, tax window, I built the same pages that are now getting inquiries. So tax window, award-winning, Melbourne accountants, blah, blah, blah. So these are our standard services, but then we also do industry, so medical practitioners, cafe. So if I click on medical practitioners, for example, this page is designed to rank accounting services for medical professionals in Melbourne, right? We're gunning for the terms Melbourne medical professionals. Once we own Melbourne, we'll consider trying to rank in Newcastle and other parts of Australia. What type of investment planning, property consulting, business advisory. So this website already now has, here are all the geo pages that we're targeting, so suburb pages, here are all the services that we're targeting, and here are all the blogs that I've created. Savvy tips for SMEs to survive tax time. Bang, that's 3,000 words of text right there. That goes into an SEO campaign. 30 minutes, hopefully I've shared some value. Yeah, out of your email, I'd probably lean to the local SEO fellow that you found. I wouldn't be doing any kind of social media posting. It would be a waste of money at the moment. And I'd only pursue any kind of SEO if it involves a complete site rebuild. So website needs to go, right pages need to be planned out, and only then, even before you do that, make yourself a challenge to get yourself some reviews. Because if we build these magical websites and we do magical SEO, if you've only got 1 review, that's going to be the bottleneck that will slow things down.